But first, we're heading even further back into the past than 1961, 20 years earlier to be exact, to Christmas Day 1941, when a group of men made a daring escape from Japanese-occupied Hong Kong.
On Christmas Day 1941, within hours of Hong Kong's surrender to the Japanese, 68 British and Chinese officers and sailors escaped by sea to the coastal village of Nanhao and then across land to Waichow. There they continued their 3,000-mile journey by river, road and rail across China to Burma, India and finally Britain. It took 5 months. Chinese Admiral Chan Jiak was a veteran of the 1911 revolution and one of the top Chinese officers in Hong Kong, working with local police and British intelligence. His son, Donald Chan, takes up the story from his father's diary and army logbook.
The governor, people in Hong Kong, they say they're going to surrender. And then my father say, I do not want to be a prisoner of war. I'm going to escape. And then the governor say, we have 4 torpedo boats, you can take the boat and escape, but we have a few party of the people want to follow you. Fortunately, they have 5 top MTB, motor torpedo boat, which left over in Hong Kong. So they fortunately get hold of the boat, and then from Aberdeen to Dongpingjiao. From Dongpingjiao, they go into Nan'o, China. From Nan'o, it's all from Nan'o to Waichow, all the area is a Japanese occupation. So they have to travel by land, sleep in the daytime and walk in the nighttime.
Starting from the Gloucester Hotel on Queen's Road, the convoy sped to Aberdeen to meet the motor torpedo boats. They had left, forced to move by constant airstrikes. Boarding a small fishing boat, the group passed under a captured gunpoint on Brick Hill. When the Japanese opened fire, they were forced to jump into the sea. Admiral Chan's bodyguard, Yang Chun, and Commander Henry Hsu were with him.
When they jump off the boat, and the bullet from the top of the hill shooting down like rainfalls, they don't think they would survive at all. So my father said to him, what sort of chances we got? And Henry said, there's no chance. The only chances we got is belief on the God, because he's a Christian. So he got the Bible right next to him. So he said, look, this is the Bible, might bring us luck. You believe on that, the God might help us to swim across and give us the life back. And so he hold the Bible, he said, yes, if this time I can survive, I'll become a Christian.
Admiral Chan, who soon realized his bodyguard, Yang Chun, couldn't swim, was shot in the wrist.
The most interesting artifact is the bullet. It was in my father's hand for over 10 days, almost 10 days from the escape. The first escape, he got it in his hand, you can see it from the picture, on his left hand, and then was stay in the left hand until he ended up in Chuzhang, the hospital, and have it removed. Finally, he got this bullet and framed it with the gold and the gold chain, carried it with him all his life. And this is the kind of memory what he have done. He had to give his only life jacket available to Yang Chun, his bodyguard. He can't swim. He got one arm hurt and one leg, and he still can swim. Of course, he's a good swimmer. He was, until he got lost one leg, he's still quite a good swimmer. Even one arm get hurt, he's still good swimming.
The party came to shore in Waichow. After dark, they walked over a hill and found 2 of the camouflage torpedo boats. Avoiding Japanese destroyers, they headed for Mirs Bay and the coastal village of Nanhao. There they had to sink the 2 boats. All that's left of them now is this crest. From Nanhao, villagers and Chinese guerrillas, the leader of which had previously served under Admiral Chan, helped them on their way. After a 4-day march, the men arrived in Waichow, clear of Japanese, on the 29th of December. This historical photo of the escape party was taken outside the hospital there.
the Japanese all the way through were trying to putting all this reward, any escaped British personnel, and especially my father, they all so much money per head, and very fortunate. All the local people, they all protecting them, don't want the money, and even protecting them, keeping a secret, and then helping them all the way through.
Admiral Chan Chak kept his promise, being baptized with the Christian name Andrew in a church in Chongqing. He was awarded a military knighthood by the British Empire and became the first post-war mayor of Canton. The escapes being celebrated by the 2-year exhibition at the Museum of Coastal Defence that's been put together by descendants of the original escapees. Last Christmas, many of them also gathered in Hong Kong to reenact the escape, travelling the route taken 68 years ago. They took a group picture at the exact same spot in Waichow. Donald Chan, now the president of the organisation HERO, or the Hong Kong Escape Re-enactment Organisation, would like a heritage trail to be set up in China.
This is an expression of the friendship between the British and the Chinese. And also we have the support from the Princess Philip, and the latter fully support on this, our reenactment. Because he was at that time he wasn't married to the Queen. He was one of the naval officers attending the surrender in Hong Kong. You read through the letter, he was here. This reenactment is very meaningful for Hong Kong history to establish. This is the first time ever the British soldier and Chinese soldier joined hands, shoulder to shoulder, fight against the common enemy, Japanese. So this is the first time in Chinese history